I'm Jhune Lubiano from Section 10 Arellano, introducing the topic Troubleshooting Techniques of a Light Dimmer. Here are the list of different troubleshooting guides when troubleshooting a light dimmer. Number 1. When troubleshooting in the electrical or electronic circuit section, prior to pre-testing, consider voltage measurement on components first before removing it for testing. If the measured voltage is normal, the component might be the cause of the problem. Either way, if the measured voltage is not normal, increased or decreased, the preceding circuit or components might be the cause. Number 2. If the trouble symptom is caused by aging components, the defective component is usually one of them. Number 3. Be familiar with the usual defects of components. For example, capacitors usually become leaky. Shorted or open resistor increase the resistance when they become defective. Semiconductors such as transistors usually become open or shorted. Always suspect a faulty contact on mechanical switch circuit rather than defective electronic components. And number 5, use personal protective equipment or PPE because it will protect you against any hazardous conditions. PPE is important because it prepares you for any health and safety risks. Here are some examples of troubles or problem of a light dimmer. Trouble number 1. Doesn't light. Possible faults are open AC cord or wiring, open switch, busted bulb, worn out receptacle of the bulb, burned TRI-AC, burned DI-AC, burned mylar capacitor, burned resistor, no contact potentiometer. Corresponding remedies are replace wiring or AC cord, replace the switch, replace the bulbs, replace receptacle bulbs, replace TRI-AC, replace DI-AC, replace mylar capacitor, replace resistor, replace potentiometer. Trouble number 2. Light doesn't dim. Burned possible faults are burned TRI-AC, burned DI-AC, burned mylar capacitor, burned resistor or open resistor, no contact potentiometer. Corresponding remedies are replace TRI-AC, replace DI-AC, replace mylar capacitor, replace resistor, replace potentiometer. Next is the problem or symptoms of a light dimmer. Checks to be made that can help you when troubleshooting a light dimmer. Problems or symptoms number 1. Doesn't light. Checks to be made are check for an open AC cord or wiring, check for an open defective switch, check for defective bulb, check for defective receptacle of the bulb, check for defective TRI-AC, check for defective DI-AC, check for a defective mylar capacitor, check for defective resistor, check for defective potentiometer. System defects or faults: defective wiring or AC cord, defective switch, electronic system control, defective bulb, defective receptacle bulb, defective TRI-AC, defective DI-AC, defective mylar capacitor, defective resistor, defective potentiometer. Problems or symptoms number 2. Light doesn't dim. Check for defective TRI-AC, check for defective DI-AC, check for defective mylar capacitor, check for defective resistor, check for defective potentiometer. System defects or faults: defective TRI-AC, defective DI-AC, defective mylar capacitor, defective resistor, defective potentiometer. And that covers up my troubleshooting techniques of a light dimmer discussion.